Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of BioLogic Science News. Today I bring you some rather morbid information about cancer. A study conducted by scientists at Johns Hopkins Sidney Kimmel Cancer Center was published to Science in late March, detailing the unavoidable nature of most cancers. It's been known for decades that certain behaviors or environmental exposures can cause cancer. Everyone knows that smoking cigarettes or living near a source of atmospheric pollution can cause lung cancer. Everyone knows that spending too much time in a tanning bed or out in the sun without sunscreen can lead to skin cancer. And everyone knows that drinking excess quantities of alcohol can cause liver cancer. But these are all preventable to a degree because they rely on us actively doing something. If you didn't light up a cigarette every other hour, you are much less likely to develop lung cancer. If you wear sunscreen, you're much less likely to develop skin cancer. This applies to other cancers too, like the esophageal cancers that can develop in the mouth from chronically chewing tobacco, or the kidney and breast cancers that can be induced by obesity. By not chewing tobacco or by eating healthy and exercising, you can reduce your risk for developing these kinds of cancers. All of these activity-induced cancers total equate to about 40% of all cancer cases. This is where stuff can get a little scary, because if 40% are from these preventable, causes, then what's the deal with the other 60% of cancer? That's the question that the study from Johns Hopkins sought to answer. The researchers found that up to 60% of cancers are not caused by elective activities like smoking or drinking or getting chronic overexposure to the sun or living a lifestyle that makes you obese. Instead, 60% of cancers appear to be literally unavoidable. When cells divide, they have to replicate their DNA. While this process is remarkably accurate, with less than one error in a billion nucleotides, it isn't perfect, and errors are still made. Errors can also occur during DNA repair, which is kind of ironic, but it can happen. Most of these mutations are relatively harmless, affecting an unimportant region of DNA or inducing a silent mutation that doesn't do anything. But in some cases, the mutations are harmful, and they can lead to complications or the disruption of genes that help regulate cancer. Without the proper functioning of these genes, cancers are much more likely to go out of control and form tumors. Because these mutations are caused by the molecular machinery within your cells, they're really unavoidable. The researchers found that up to 66%, or 2/3 of cancers, may be caused by these unavoidable genetic mishaps. It's really kind of terrible because we can't predict when these cancers will appear, and when they do appear, they're difficult to detect at first, and the cancer has an opportunity to grow and spread. It's made even worse by the fact that many of these unavoidable cancers affect children. Although there is a silver lining to these grim findings. The authors of the paper submitted to Science, as well as other researchers studying cancers, all recognize that it isn't as simple as bad gene equals cancer. The physiology of cancer is really complex. The development of cancer is like a big project with inputs from your genes, your hormones, your lifestyle, and your environment. Even if you have genes that might predispose you towards certain kinds of cancers, a healthy lifestyle and other appropriate countermeasures can prevent it from ever forming. On the other hand, you can still develop cancers through hormone malfunction or poor lifestyle choices, even if you aren't genetically predisposed to them. This research may be rather depressing, but it's not a cause to lose hope. What's clear is that if we want to treat these cancers more effectively, we have to prioritize the early discovery and diagnosis of the cancer, and then we have to promote fast and aggressive treatment. 60% of cancers may be unavoidable, but we can sure try to fight and kill the cancer when it appears. If you want to know more about mutations and how they arise during cellular replication, I suggest listening to episode 12 on the cell cycle, or episodes 15 and 16 in the series on genetics.